Allow me to demonstrate the skill of Shaolin, the special technique of shadow boxing.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Project Webtoons podcast, episode 6 in the bag, coming at you guys. I'm ready to get in and talking about some new webtoons. We got hot stuff this week. Chapters upon chapters dropped. So many chapters. 5 chapters for Trashero. 5. I don't know. They were just backed up. They were just that backed up. They were so excited to get back into the game. They just, here you go. early gifts. Very
Christmas, much. Christmas came early.
Very. Thank you. But as always, I am of course your host, your big man. It is Sleepy.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Seraph here.
Hey.
This is Arc Dragoon.
That is Arc Dragoon. How you doing, Arc? You're looking as purple as always. Actually, you're looking a little more purple this time.
He's not dead yet.
No.
I know.
I mean, I keep plenty of elixirs on hand just in case. Plus, we needed him for the vote, as you all know. Taking care of that's going around the
I
country
can die
still.
now, though. It's fine, guys.
Oh, we can't, because then they'll use it against us, saying that you were one of the ballots that came in that was for dead folk.
That's fine. It's not like my vote mattered anyways.
But it did.
I don't think it works like that. But
It turned everything. They saw the fishy mark on the paperwork, and they were like, this is the key deciding factor. Oh man, but yeah, beyond that, crazy chapters from this week. I know Seraph just caught up on beginning after the end and just outburst at the latest chapter that dropped 2 hours before we started.
We'll get there when we get there. Okay?
Yeah.
I got a lot on my mind now because of that.
He's wilding for that one. He's definitely wilding. Yeah, but besides that one, we actually got a good continuation chapter with legendary Moonlight Sculptor. More little wholesome chapters with Mookhyang Dark Lady, Peerless Dad, Uncle Ak.
What a goat, bro! I'm telling you, what a goat.
He's done so little, but it's just enough to let you know how badass that motherfucker is. But still,
and in defense, we are slowly starting to finally move on onto the CLC.
We're starting to get on into like the next big arc. Really, is what's happening. Mm-hmm. We're starting to move into that new fight. So, but yeah, let's definitely jump into this. We've got plenty to cover this week. We'll start right off the back since I was already on it. We're gonna see what's up with Peerless Dad. Brother now is awake. Talked to the other, not the, what am I thinking? The association, the other clan. Well, he was talking to the other clan, but
Sword Association. They're the Sword Clan.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you talked to the Sword Clan. He fed him basically a bunch of lies and bullshit. But
no, he didn't feed them a lot of bullshit. He just fed them the one bullshit, technically.
Wow.
Yeah, he just fed him the one white lie.
He fed him the one white lie, but
because everything he's told was the truth. The only thing he hid was the fact that he
was the one who fought.
Yeah, he's the one who let them die. Basically, everything else.
He didn't just let them die. He killed some of them, but
no, he didn't. He did not personally attack any of them. He just let them die. That's literally what happened.
He just pretty much threw them in harm's way and was like, "You guys are too weak. You guys are in my way. Get out of here."
Well, I mean, it wasn't so much that
they weren't too weak. He was too worried that he was like,
worried that
these guys survive. They're going to kill me too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let them kill each other first.
But still, he stacked some bullshit on bullshit there. He played his master tactician skill there, and they all bought it. But it came time at the end for him to go and talk to the Metal Demon himself, which I thought he was dead. But apparently they captured him.
I thought Noah would have killed him right there. But
well, I mean,
he's captured in a lot.
Well, that was the thing, though. It would raise an alarm if he suddenly killed him, after his story had come out. So, but the fact that they didn't tie him up, but they severed some tendons, I'm guessing is what they kind of implied, because they said that they broke something, or they cut something to keep him from moving, because he's just kind of laying sprawled out a little bit. But yeah, we get this exchange between both of them, and he's basically like, yeah, why couldn't you have died on the battlefield? And the I don't think he actually gives his name, he's just known as the Metal Demon God, but the Metal Demon basically starts relaying to him that he's like, it's really weird why you didn't just join me. You clearly are using the exact same technique I am. And he's like, he keeps referring to him like, don't tell me, don't try to fill my head with lies of what this is. But then he starts like naming off the moves that he was doing. He's like, it was a sloppy version of it, but I know what this is.
That's not the important part. The important part was, hey, I know your master's name. What?
Well, yeah, he doesn't even know his master's name. That was the thing.
No. It's not even that. Like, he's like, no, I know exactly who your master is. All right.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Tell you who your master is.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
My senior.
Yeah, he more or less he laid on the fact that I not only know your master is, he was also my senior. Like I wasn't trained directly under him, but I was trained in the same, within the same sect. So, but he now like basically tries to not believe him, but he's having a hard time with, dealing with the fact that like every bit of his moves match up with exactly what he's saying, kind of. But he makes up that plan, or he doesn't. He's trying to formulate a plan. He's basically got to kill this guy because he knows if he talks, even if they really can't substantiate anything he says, if he talks, it pretty much is going to ruin his entire, scheme that he just laid out in front of the Sword Clan. Granted, no one else from that battle is alive, so he's got some credibility at least. But yeah, I'm not sure how to take this.
The Metal Demon God also fixes himself.
Yes, he does.
He's also slowly recuperating.
Yeah,
I don't think that's even slowly. That is literally
he just he goes, well, they should have actually cut my legs off or something, because that would have been wiser.
He was like, oh, hey, you see these dents? Let me just
pop.
Let me just one piece it up and let me just blow air in them. That's fine. They're fine. That's literally what that was. He was just like, pop. Okay, cool. My crushed arms and legs are fine now.
Well, he doesn't say that. He's like, well, it's going to take a week for them to be fully healed. But he's like, this is enough for right now. Even in a weakened state, he can probably take most of them on. Granted, he said the only reason he isn't going on a ramp.
Coming back too, so.
Yeah. But no, the big thing is that he decides at the end, after that whole exchange and now walks off, is that he's going to forcefully train now, even if he doesn't want to be trained by him, because he's like, I'm going to stay around and mess with him a bit. So he's still trying to get him on his side is the underlining bit there. So we clearly have the setup for another clash that's going to occur. But do we see this where either the Demon God is going to possibly try and implicate Now while he's still in the Sword Clan? Make it seem like, because literally right after Now left, the Metal God escaped. He makes it seem like he helped him get away.
I don't think he escaped.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, the next chapter when they come back, because he's seemingly healed up. But it could be say right after Now was the last person to go visit him. Now all of a sudden, he's back and fighting for him, and he's either going to have escaped or possibly be able to escape because of that.
No, it's not like they haven't left people to watch the cave.
I mean, it didn't look like anyone was there when he was leaving.
No, because he mentioned it before. He's just just don't follow me into the cave. That's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So
they didn't mention that they left they have left people to
Well, they left guards outside of the cave, but
guards,
not guards directly near him.
Yeah,
they're being extra cautious because they don't know exactly how powerful he potentially is. And granted, the whole instant recuperation thing he does is kind of oh, okay. So, yeah, I see some potential more bloodshed coming through here, and I don't know if Now is gonna now kind of can't. I don't know if he can still throw the same bullshit if he does escape, and he starts just causing havoc. If he's gonna try and play the part of being the weak first class warrior, knowing it could either get him killed. Or leave him in a more desperate situation. But yeah, so Yeah, that was just a
Also,
good revelation. What's
it's
up?
also important to point out that the metal demon god clearly pointed out that he's like, hey, why is it that like you have this like this key, or like he's definitely pointing out that like now is definitely like now building key in his body.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Oh,
he's
that
like,
he just like, well, he's
yeah,
like,
he's wondering
he's
like
just now
how,
learning it.
yeah, he's like, how do you have that without actually learning how to do it? Is basically what
How
he's
did you
asking.
complete your body without having metal key?
Well,
Yeah, because
there was the
it
one
definitely
thing.
Pointed out that like you can't have a metal vessel.
Yeah,
without
you
metal key.
without a metal.
Yeah,
a
so
metal
it
key.
because he's definitely pointing out that like it looks like the way the metal demon gods that technique works is you fill your body with the key as you build it stronger, so that it's 1 for 1.
Yeah.
But for now here, he built his body first, and then now he's
building
it
the
with the key.
key later. Yeah. This may harken back to his master's way of doing it, because he makes mention of him saying that his old teacher was formulating some different way of building that body type, but his way of doing it was at least stupid, or it clearly was a slower version. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's where that's leading into, and we'll see this either a newer ultimate form come out from it. But I also don't know how long that's going to take, because it seems like it's a much slower process all the way around, and now is just getting to the point of, filling his body with ki and understanding it. Well, not even understanding it, he's just doing it naturally.
No, I don't think it's natural. I'm pretty sure it's the same exact way his master taught him. Basically, you beat the shit out of your body, because every single time he's gotten stronger was because he just gotten more hurt than he normally would have. That's basically how it's been going. He is like saying hacks now is what that is.
Well,
right?
but the thing is that he has to always, but in order to get that, he has to be beaten beyond the point that he was before. Because I mean, even when his master had to beat him to that extent, but he had to get him to the point where he wasn't enjoying it. And as he's grown,
that's why
he doesn't have his master
the metal
anymore
demon
to beat
god
him.
himself mentioned. He was like, I can't believe your training technique worked like in some way. Like he's like, he definitely knows who Nao's master is, because he mentions him by name. And then we see in the flashback he obviously sees and knows who he is.
Him, yeah.
And then when he talks about it, he definitely seems like when he left at some point he disregarded the way they did it, which was to do it gain ki as you increase the strength of your body. And instead he's like, no, if you just beat the shit out of the body, eventually it will naturally absorb the ki. And this is what it looks like.
Well, see, that's what I said. It's happening naturally for him rather than it doing it in the other form. But that's where I'm trying to find out where the differences in their technique is, because when he was training him, he's like, you need to be beaten, but you need to get to that point where we don't want to push you to the point where you get so enthralled to the beating that it's an enjoyable point. And I don't know if that's either a side effect or if that's actually the state that the metal demons actually prefer to do, because this guy, when he came, he had a bunch of those subordinates with him, and they were all in the same manner. They were all just crazed and wanting to be cut or stabbed. So I don't know if that's if that is an actual just a weird byproduct, or if that's actually what they try to get them to, because at that point now they can just take the beating for just constantly, and it's actually building on their body, while at the same time they're forcing their ki in, making themselves stronger and stronger. Whereas this form he does it the other way, where he's like, no, you beat.
No, I feel like the difference is that like his master mentioned before, if you start feeling pleasure from the pain, then stop, right?
Yeah.
So like it definitely feels like what it is when you use the ki while you're training your body that way, like the metal demon god does, then you become addicted to the pain. And
so is the ki possibly like almost like a drug? It gets them high.
So that's why his master's technique is to beat you to get stronger, because what it does is you literally have to always be in pain to be aware of your sense of pain.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the other technique it negates all pain, because you're no longer feeling pain at that point.
I guess. Hopefully, well, I mean, it seems like the Metal Demon, at least the one we know of right now, has more knowledge on it, so maybe he'll shed some more light at a later point with now, like the differences, or actually explain why the master style was chosen in a different way, why he thinks it's stupid. But yeah, so it was just nice, at least, that we finally, after this long, we finally get more into the actual technique and the training for what it's meant to, and its purpose and point at this point in the story where we're at. So that was just cool to get. But going from there, we move over back into hometown. All of the warriors come home, but now, and the kids are actually waiting outside of the gate for him. They all have the worried look on their face, thinking their father may have fallen, and Uncle Ox like, nah, this is bullshit. He'll be fine. He'll come back when he needs to come back. Even if everyone was classified dead, he will come back when he needs to come back. So, he's such a great parenting style. He takes everything from your book, doesn't he, Ark?
Hey, whatever works.
He's just telling it how it is.
Yeah, he's just telling it how it is. No care or comfort here. Just
you gotta tell it how it is, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got a few different things also there. But outside of that, we got a meeting of all of the Heavenly Dragons meet up to talk and discuss about the Metal Demon God, and also the gains from the war they got. Apparently, not only the pledge from the sword, the Sword King, but also a mountain range, I think they attained. But they see this as like that we shouldn't be lax on it, that there's clearly something else out there that's going to be coming and we should be preparing for it. But the real big thing we got out of the end of the meeting was Big Sis is asking for retirement.
Mm-hmm.
And Homeboy even looks at her like, why?
What you mean retirement? Hold up.
What's going on? And I was just like, no, the kids still need training. Why are you...
Even if she's retired, she can still train.
I don't know how far down it means for retirement, because I think they stop fighting altogether. They may still train, but I don't know if they actually take on students anymore. Because the only other time we hear about them talk about the Golden Basin ritual is with the 50. Yes, it's with the Ice Queen. And as they've seen here, it almost seems like she's kind of a myth a little bit. Little Sis actually talks to the old man about like where she could meet the Ice Queen. He's like, oh yeah, you could totally get there. It's kind of a hellish trek to do. And it's not like you see her disciples or hear anyone sing her praise anymore. So I don't know if like they just they don't become recluse, but they kind of like detach away from everyday like political things and, you know, leading the nation or whatever. So I don't know if that's what that means specifically, or if she's doing this as a move to do something else. I'm not sure.
Probably just scheming.
I mean, it wouldn't put it past me. I would definitely see that it's a scheme for something else potentially. She's got something else bigger planned. I don't want to see the character go because we've seen a very little of her so far, but the bits that we have seen have been pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, so that big revelation came through. Not only with that, we got Akbak running the business. Oh, well, not just Akbak running the business, but little brother of the main leader.
Toad.
What's up?
Yeah, we got Toad.
Oh no, not Toad. Little brother of the main household of one of the kings. I can't remember, the orange hair homeboy. He's the one that was running the underground racket, essentially, all the gangs.
Yeah,
they're still looking. They're still actually looking for the two, not the informants, but the two like state officials that went missing, that they took care of. He's starting to scheme something as well. So. And now that we get back to the scene with Ak and Toad around, I'm guessing that our next bit of push of story will be them getting closer to like either not completely figuring out, but wondering exactly what they're doing, because the gangs of the area have now been handled by Toad, as well as the training for all the first-rate warriors. and Oxbin essentially being the underground businessman. So I don't know if that's like gonna turn into some other shit, but I did like the line where at the end he goes, I can't train these guys, they're too fat. They haven't lived a life, you know, having to like be on the edge and struggle for your meal every day kind of thing. And Ox just responds, he's like, well, now gave them to you to train. He's like, you don't need to train them like they're like tiny little children or something. He's like, no, train them like you would train them. Fuck them up. And I'm just like, okay. Once again, perfect. That parenting style, perfect person, perfect people skills.
Yeah, go fuck them up.
Yeah, just go
fuck them up. If you're training them, fuck them up.
Don't worry about it. Go fuck them up.
That's what Warrior knows.
Did they die?
He fucked them up, you know? He fucked them up.
Oh,
like,
you fell down the stairs. Did you die? No, see? Don't do it again. It's all you gotta do. It's fine.
Fall down again.
Your cultivation methods are very, 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 very lax. maybe a little bit on the psychotic
it's
side.
Fine.
Yeah. What kind of character are you going for here? But yeah, either way, that was the highlight of that. Just Uncle Lock, fuck him up.
Don't hold back. Just go.
No time. Yeah. So yeah, but that carried 3 chapters for us with Peerless Dad. So anything on that you guys wanted to bring up or discuss there? Anything more on, you know, predictions for our next couple of chapters here? We got the end with the kids situation, but you know, Ak coming in here with this. Now's got some bullshit on his end to deal with. Mm-hmm. Anything from you two on this one?
No, I'm good.
No, we're good. All right. We'll go ahead and we'll move on to our next one here. Over to the legendary Moonlight Sculptor. I think we got 2 chapters on this one. We finally finished the quest to discover more information about the Moonlight Sculptor by going to the Sculptors Guild, which
kind of did nothing, but you know.
I mean, like
he meets up with an old man who also sculpts, but
you mean
I was
like any other video game quest I've ever played that gave me some useless information? Hey, here's some busy work because you clearly need to be doing something instead of finishing the main objectives. But yeah, he does find this old man, and he does quickly threaten the old man. But what's up?
No.
Okay. But yeah, the old man gives him a quest basically to sculpt something perfect with his sculpting tool, essentially. Basically what he's been doing this entire time.
No, it's with his special material though.
This one
it was I don't know if it was just a boom. It was just a giant marble, wasn't it? It was just gives him a marble.
Specifically, what he has to do is sculpt the light into it. Yeah.
Or sculpt the light from within it, or something like that, yeah?
I mean, one way or another is fine.
I mean, is it any different from his quest that he had with the way back in the beginning with trying to sculpt life into something? Trying to understand how to actually make a sculpture more alive or lifelike in any grand way, so... We don't actually get to see what the end of what the sculpture gets to be because the next chapter starts and our old crew is in the middle of fighting the giant Leviathan creature or giant snake, and he pops out of nowhere to give some quest orders. So I'm guessing he completed it, or it has no time limit, so he can kind of do it whenever he wants.
There is no time limit. It also said that if there's no, he can fail it as many times as he needs to too.
Yeah. So now it's
like when we see at the end, he's like, so many sculptor blades gone, just like that.
Well, he gives him that like whole thing, like you're gonna destroy a ton of sculptor blades, trying to do this. So I don't know if he's actually attempted or if now he's doing that thing where he's trying to like find a more or less a muse in the game for him to get inspiration on. So. But we meet up with the old crew again in the middle of that fight. He gives off some orders stating on how they should take care of it, and of course the fight goes pretty simply along with him there. But the whole crew looks like that they've gotten quite a bit stronger. So that's good. But it ends with apparently some outside character development. Our homeboy Ultra got a girlfriend during his time off in between quests, and they open up with them making plans to go on a date. And the whole group basically decides to shit on that plan and goes, we should make a group meeting instead.
No, that's not what happened. It wasn't just because they were going to shit on it. It was because
no, it wasn't. It's because
what's the name? Bros were like, hey, we can meet up with some really hotties too.
Oh,
right?
yes.
This is that like
everyone had their own reason to. Everyone had their own like side reason to want to meet up. The Sword Bros wanted to be chicks,
was like,
but Weed's like, nah, I don't want to go.
Money for this.
Well, it's not so much I don't have the money. It's like, this is going to be costly and I don't want to do it because I have to spend money. And he's kindly rejects the offer. And then everyone slowly starts coming down of like, oh, well, if he doesn't go, I'm not going to go. And if they're not going to be there, then I'm not going to be there. And the Sword Bros basically one by one give him that glare of you're going to appear because it's loyalty.
Bitch, I will pay for you. Okay, you will go.
They started giving him so many excuses.
So many excuses. Loyalty is what you should do. I've seen you every day at the dojo. What's it matter? But then it comes down to, I will pay for you to be there.
And he's like, all right.
Yep. I'll take this free food. Yeah. So next chapter, I'm guessing we're gonna have a nice big group meeting. But
we're gonna have a continuation of the Doctor hanging out with.
Or the side story of that, because the Doctor does meet up with Seo finally in the game.
That's where it ends at. So I'll probably assume that's probably gonna continue from there for the next chapter. And I would actually like that to happen because I want to see how much she's grown since then and where she is going and what she's trying to do.
Yeah, we haven't really figured out exactly what her adventure is in this world yet. She's kind of been doing her own thing. So yeah, a few side-off chapters wouldn't matter to me at all. I mean, see of the adventure with her would be pretty good. Either her or other brawler, since we've only seen her once or twice since she got out of the hospital.
Dane,
yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a side off from there. Yeah, you would, but yeah. Either way, it was a nice, simple, quick chapters there. Hopefully, we'll either come back to the sculpting quest, and we'll either get an end to that, or we'll be informed either in a flashback or something that he did complete it, and all these new stats have come to him. I still want to know what the fuck he did with that gold statue.
The one that says clone?
Yes, the one that he made of himself.
The golden man.
The golden man that is fire resistant and
he's not fire resistant.
Well, he's heavily fire. He'll melt, but it has to be like of an extreme temperature. Yeah.
Yeah. He won't die if he melts, because then he could just turn into anything else that Weed wants it to turn into. Yeah. He has a really high melting point, more so than what gold normally would be. So yeah, the resistance that Golden Man has is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, just him alone would be able to take on that Snake King that they were fighting.
Yeah. And
we would just stand there and look at the Snake King while it's fighting a little Golden Man and be like, cool, I don't gotta do anything.
I mean, he's already got so many like little subordinates that he can call already. And we still have the world dungeon thing that they're still working on to try and get the entire climate to go back to normal.
Yeah, because the idiots from that other clan ended up summoning practically the god of fire himself, and then just heat everywhere.
It's been like a constant heat wave, but the one of the biggest guilds on the server has basically like formed a massive alliance to go and take it on, but we've only gotten like 2 or 3 glimpse chapters at that. So, and we know that
like 3 panels worth that.
Yeah, and we know that like 1 or 2 people are out looking for weed right now as well from that quest. So, yeah, there's still a lot of other storylines I'm waiting to weave back in here before we finish out. But yeah, so anything else on that one that I missed off? Anything I didn't miss in the background there?
No.
Nope. All right. Okay, well, we'll move on here from the Moonlight to the darkness with Mookhyang, the darkest of all the ladies here. Yeah, so
the best grill.
Cheers. Yeah, we've Kingdom is slightly more established. I'm trying to remember.
It's not. I wouldn't say kingdom.
Not
it's,
kingdom.
Kingdom.
So
Province.
His own province.
Province.
Yeah.
Province is a little bit more slightly established.
Got more knights to be able to turn into graduates.
Well, he's
At least.
the equivalent of graduates.
Equivalent to graduates, because he's trying to basically get everyone to train in cultivation.
Yeah, it's because he's like, hey,
because the way that
I have like 10 people here, and if an army shows up, there will be like thousands of people, and I need all of these people at like the level of like graduates. What? Why? That's not going to be possible in like. No. Don't worry. They'll do it.
We got this. I got this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Well, I got this means I'm gonna teach my one subordinate how to do it, and get him to forcibly teach all the other underlings to do it. And unfortunately, that doesn't go anywhere because they have no patience. And they've all learned how to use mana and magic in their world in one specific fashion. So, yeah, he decides to take it upon himself to actually train them how to properly cultivate the mana that they have, since they are in a mana-rich world. Yeah, so not only does he get the subordinates, but his old group jumps in too. And I do love that right away, like, he puts his hand on one of theirs back and he just starts flipping out. He's like, I want the master to touch me as well. And I'm like, okay, this is getting weird again. But everyone's like starts ripping off their shirt, and then what's her name rips off her shirt, and everyone's like, whoa, wait. She's like, what's wrong?
Chill.
He's like, what's wrong? And she's just wrapped up, and I'm like, yeah, come on, guys, everyone knows this.
She was ready for it.
She was, but it seems to be the main point is not only to get them to graduates, but he's trying to get them all into heavier class titans more than anything, because it seems like he's preparing to push in to the next area to expand the territory a little bit more. Yeah, but from there he meets up with I cannot remember the Archduke's name. Is it Crow? No.
The magic guy?
Yeah, the mage's name, the one that cursed him.
I don't remember.
Me neither. Oh my gosh, we're so good at this. But he meets up with him and basically, asks him if he's made any progress. And as we know, he's not looking into this because he's using dark, and makes it pretty much bold. Not even a bold.
I think the
but
thing is,
threat.
even if like he could, he knows that like he can't. Like he's like, the truth is, it's like I don't have actually any real option.
Like he doesn't have any option to break the spell, or
yeah, he literally can't, because like he made a mention. He's like, the ring that cursed him is
it's literally indestructible because it's pretty much 100% powered by demonic energy.
And the only other way he can do it is if he goes and.
Well, he has to either beat the demon that gave him the power, or find an even stronger source of energy to destroy it.
He knows that the only way to deal with dark is just to send dark away. He's like, the only way I can deal with dark is to find a way to send him back. That's literally what it is.
Well, yeah, send him back to his own world, yeah. But he can't, but at the same time, he doesn't want to, or he can't until he uses dark to basically get the nation back into the higher rings of power. And that's what he wants him to do. So he's playing not the espionage game, but he's playing the really shitty like spy game here. But like Dark's like very straightforward. He's like, they're the kind of people I hate are the people that are just like you, the schemers. He could have just put on some Joker face paint and just gave him a full line there. You're the schemers, always with your little tricks. But if you make them squeal. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long they'll either keep on that line or how much bullshit he'll be able to feed him before it pretty much comes out that he doesn't know, or he has no way to really handle this. Granted, I'm still waiting for Daddy Dragon to probably show up and say something about it too, since we know he's around somewhere. But yeah, so cultivation, basically a new wave of cultivators army is on the way. And we've also got he was training. Well, he was training with the new Titan that he has, and I'm not sure how that one was going because I saw a silhouette of the new Titan kicking the old one.
Yeah, because the old one kept doing it. He's like, he literally
so he's just beating on it.
He basically is like a pseudo armor because he has no engine to drive it. So he's like, neener, I'm gonna kick you because like I got a master, you don't. Like this is the only time an inferior suit of armor, the inferior like one is gonna be like, haha, I am better than you for like this one brief moment.
This is the one moment of happiness I'll forever etch into my metal core.
And you can see Dark just get angry inside the suit.
He's just like, God damn it. They're just as petty as people. I get it now. So yeah, just a nice little 2 quick shot chapters here for this one. We're really just filling in more of the current situation and current world that he's in at the moment. We haven't expanded outside of it because granted we're still just building on the territory that he's got, but we are hopefully, I'm not sure what the next actual obstacle is coming up yet. I don't know because we haven't seen any interference from the outside yet. Granted, I was expecting something from those two, the spies, the Gosu and the one lady, the summoner lady, to come in and do something about this if they had reported back about what was going on since they discovered Dark. But Dark has fairly changed since then by far, and is so much more powerful.
A lot stronger.
And he's already raising is going to raise probably one of the strongest armies that anyone could face against as well. I'm hoping that not only with the cultivation technique that he's training them, since right away all of them get super sad when he says, yeah, you don't need to work on your bodies, just totally fucking forget that bullshit. And all of them are like, but what about muscles? And he's like, yeah, don't need them, fuck it.
No, do you see me? I'm a scrawny little girl and I will beat all of you.
I will
10 times over with a single finger here. Do you understand this?
Is this the body of a 14-year-old girl? Do you really want to find out?
So yeah, I'm wondering if hopefully this will mean some new training regiments as well. That'll be coming along with them. But we'll see what Dark decides to bestow upon them, since it's more or less seems like he's slowly building his own cultivating school here as well. Because I'm sure this style is not going to be just kept quiet, or at least held as a secret close to only the military. I'm kind of hoping the woodsman's son sees this and tries to join, or starts doing it himself, and we find out he's actually kind of a natural cultivator in some way. That would just be kind of funny. It'd just be kind of funny of a little side thing, since he wants to do something with the army so bad. But yeah. So anything on Mookhyang that I missed on that little run through from you two? No. Anything to pick up? Two guys leaving.
Yeah, Jimmy and Levine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. They were.
I don't know what they're going to be doing after a little bit, since Dark looked like he had total plans, and the way they both looked. Like,
I'm sending you two away. Y'all are too weak.
Yeah, that they
go away.
Knowing Dark, he's not, just gonna do that.
No, has, there's clearly some scheme that's going on with this for sure. He's not just throwing them out because they're entirely useless. They'll just serve a different purpose. So yeah,
I kind of wonder what type of plans that he would have for those two, whether it's just recon or just something else.
I mean, yeah, it would be interesting to see what their skill sets will hopefully lean them into as well. Since Dark, we can tell Dark is not good at paperwork. He's actually quite shitty at it from this chapter.
Yeah, he has to end up giving it to somebody else to do.
Yeah, he gives it to the other two guys. Tells them to do it. Yeah, he's not really versed in the politics of this world that well. So. Yeah.
Especially since he had to go get somebody else to do politics stuff as well, since he had to call up that one guy Juan to come in.
Yep. He's good at he knows how to. He has the right people to delegate the work to. He's actually got a pretty decent network of individuals that kind of fit exactly what he needs to run this area pretty well. He's got some folks that are good at paperwork. He's got what we pretty sure being hinted at is a actual like either on the run noble or just a noble under a noble hidden that understands like
diplomatic relations
and willing with that. He's got his one friend who the mercenary who basically can help with any of the training needs, as well as having the one graduate that he has that's essentially his personal bodyguard that he doesn't really need, but he has him as well training all the troops and keeping them in line. So he's pretty much got a perfect set of individuals to handle all the day-to-day things. So we'll see we'll see how that plays out, since in the beginning he was very much on, you know, not really building any kind of relationships, just I want to fucking find a way home. I'm not really worried about what anyone else wants to do, but here he's slowly getting more and more people into his life that are kind of sticking around, and he's now relying on, and rather than just kind of learning and moving on his own path.
And he's trying to engage into some other things, since he's actually going to go up against the Argan Empire for some negotiations. You know, I thought that was a pretty big thing.
For sure. Yeah.
And then at the end of the chapter there, we got to see like those two orc-looking guys show up as well, with some dead bodies of horses and people carriages.
Oh yeah.
Is there going to be an army that's going to be showing up to Dark's doorstep soon, or is there going to be a war against the monsters versus the humans soon here, or what? I'm
sure that there'll be some kind of conflict before we get to the big war. At least something had to make the land the way it was, where it wasn't doing as well or wasn't as prosperous, and it could be just local monsters in the area were just hitting the town too often or too hard for it to really go anywhere. So yeah, it'll be good to see what that issue is that he'll have to solve in the meantime before we move on to the bigger, more overarching one. But either way, yeah, so good on nose on that one for Dark Lady is sure. Ready for the next chapter on that, but we'll move on here to the next one with our big boy Arthur on his way to school in the beginning after the end. We're here, Seraph.
Oh boy, man.
We still didn't see Tess.
We're not even at school yet still, but you know, it's okay.
We still didn't see Tess. We saw her parents though.
Yeah, we got.
And we saw the old man. The old man was there. Yeah, so after last chapter with Arthur knocking some nobles the fuck out, and getting some help from Princess Catherine, as well as the prince, and giving some fine words of, you know, no hate here. We don't have time for that in this country. And also Arthur flexing that everybody wants me, that connections and everybody wants me muscle. I need these 4 kids completely expelled from the school.
Who's your daddy? It's fine. I don't know him.
It's like
what's up?
Just yeah, I don't know if we can do that. Those are some high-ranking kids. Do you still want me to come to your school? I'll expect them gone. Fuck them kids.
She instantly dropped everything, not giving a care in the world, man. And then immediately those kids got expelled. That's just him flexing on what he's got right off the rip.
I just think the old folk really like him. That's all it is.
I mean, he's technically an old man.
I know he's technically an old man.
Like a 50 to 60-year-old man inside.
Only mentally. He was reborn. He was actually born in this world. Yeah, but. After that whole scuffle goes down, we actually get back into what the main thing we're trying to get to, which was this opening school ceremony. And well, actually, this wasn't just an opening school ceremony. This was a town ceremony, really. All of the kings and queens from each of the nations shows up and basically gives their proclamation that they are now more or less uniting. They didn't say they're uniting under like a single banner or anything like that or creating an alliance, but that they're all going to be working together. And specifically it was for the announcement that there is another continent out there with other individuals. And of course that raises just panic ensues. Panic, worry, suspicion, you know. Even Arthur himself.
No, it's more important that it definitely sounds like like they didn't say it explicitly, but like the truth is the reason why they got the kids from different like from different parts of the country and different nationalities together is because they're like, there's probably another country and we're probably going to go to war soon, so it is better to have everyone together for this than to not.
Well, yeah, it's clearly the idea is that they think that they're potentially worst case scenarios that they're invaders, because it wasn't so much that we discovered them, it's that we discovered one of their objects spying on us. And the first suspicion is why are they doing this? Are they trying to study us? Are they trying to communicate, or were there other nefarious purposes? So they're hedging their bets in a lot of ways. But the idea is that they've been slowly building relations over the last couple of years with how this is. They go through like the accomplishments they've done so far. One being that they started allowing basically co-racial adventuring groups. So you can have the groups of dwarves, elves, and everyone else could now join groups. And then after that was now the other races were now being accepted into the academy. So this final step was now they've created like the more or less the representatives or the strongest individuals of the youngest class of the younger generation of fighters, and they called them the Six Lances. And I instantly got really shitty vibes to another to an actual manga about this, and it made it even worse because the real thing was this Seraph here, as he was reading this chapter, was going through, and he instantly going through now. And he did the exact same thing I did. I was like, Six Lances, special kids, and they're high-ranking families. If Lucas White shows up on this motherfucking stage, and Arthur doesn't just pull out a fucking pistol finger and just point it at that kid,
if Arthur sees Lucas and doesn't pull out a whole Glock.
And just
finish that's not what I was thinking was going to happen. I thought that's what that
would have been like the easy. That would have been the tropey easy thing.
I think the easier thing would have been was to introduce Tess then, right?
Well, I secondly thought it was going to be Tess.
I was assuming Tess was going to be upon like the Six Lances, but at the same time, I was like, she still has to go to school.
Yeah,
hold on, she's not really like too well versed in it too much.
Yeah, and I didn't think that the royal families would let each of their own be a part of that, for essentially would be just child soldier danger to come forward here. But no, one of the Lances is Lucas's older brother. And just to show off older brother status, this dude is the tallest motherfucker in the whole group.
Well, he is an elf, and elves are usually taller than humans and orcs. So they're usually just the tallest motherfuckers around.
True. But yeah,
he's like the biggest built.
But I mean, he was the biggest one too. Like, he's also really built. Instead of usually most of the elves are usually a little leaner, but he was like, he actually looked more like a human more than anything.
Well, he is
he might be a half breed. So since
just like with Lucas.
I mean, it could end up being that,
Well, I mean, he's an experimental. I would think he might be another experiment because that was the one thing that their family is known for is basically experiment.
They don't necessarily have to have the same mother or something, you know what I mean?
This is true, too. This is true. They may be only brothers in name, only. But, yeah, so Big Bro is on deck right now. And even though it wasn't Lucas, we still got that shot of just Arthur stare at him.
He's got it against the entire
the whole family, apparently. Yeah,
the whole tried to do to note.
The whole family is just all death cards for him. He does not give a fuck. If you've got that if you're not willing to just forego that name.
If you are a toddler with a white last name, you're done.
It's going all the way to the cradle with this. Yeah. So,
exactly.
Yeah, but I was expecting Tess to make an appearance at some point during that, especially since we saw both Ma, Pa, and Grandpa all there. But we did get to finally see the Dwarven King and the Dwarven Queen there in full glory as well. Also multiple other of the races, just hanging around in the area. That was cool, but this being the opening, not just more or less the opening ceremony into the school, hopefully, but just an idea of what's to come forward, at least for Arthur going forward, because I don't know if his new objective is just I'm gonna be fucking with that kid, or I just need to watch out for that kid a little bit.
Yeah, because with the connection that he has right now, he could probably boot that white.
He could probably get Lucas in trouble. I don't know if he's got enough clout to maybe take out the big brother yet, just because he's supposed to be like the high select.
They're kind of appointed by the kings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're appointed by the royalty.
Okay, he still got this.
I mean, granted, he is part of the Elven Kingdom. He is best friends with the Elven Princess, and he's also essentially the student of the previous Elven King. So it's not like he doesn't have. And the actual
king still likes him, and the queen likes him.
So it's not like he doesn't have an in. But at the same time,
there's a chance he can still fight it.
Yeah.
Just like he did with that one kid. Hey, yo, boot him up.
I mean, at best, I think that he knows that he can spar with them and he can probably battle them without getting, reprimanded right away. Like all the other people would anybody else would even touch these kids. They'd be gone. It'd be done. Their families would just be besmirched. He probably has at least that amount of level of like, I can at least put a finger on you, let you know. So we'll hopefully within the next coming chapters, we'll finally get Tess to appear. Since she's got all this compo. She's got all this compo coming.
She's got all this built up, this coming to her, man. It's been like 4 years since Arthur last saw her, man. And he's got a gift that's really good, Judging that she doesn't already have a beast will that's S-rank.
He's already got a pending tea party with the princess, with Princess Catherine as well. So,
shit.
Ow! Just throwing them all under the bus there. But yeah,
Tessa's the best. The princess of the human kingdom ain't shit.
Well, I know Ark's gonna keep quiet as much as he can since he's reading the novel and is so far ahead on this one. So no.
I feel like he's done with it.
I mean, he's probably caught up to exactly where they're at, but I don't think they're actually finished writing it currently. So we can only play our own speculation game here, Seraph, and he can't give any hints or any gestures as he's up there. Look at that, stonewalled. It's perfect.
But then again, like Arthur still probably wouldn't go.
I was pressing Soda Dungeon, so
he's just like,
God damn it.
I'm still a 12-year-old. I have no interest in girls.
I mean, I don't know. He showed a little different side when Catherine offered.
She's the princess of the human kingdom.
She is
too.
She is. But I mean, Tess is the princess of the Elven Kingdom. What do you want? I'm kind of waiting for the princess of the Dwarven Kingdom to show up too. Hopefully she's just like a little buffer.
Actually, she actually might be there. Who knows if she's that Earthbound girl. Earthbound girl that showed up just a bit ago there.
You said, was it Mika? Mika?
Yeah, Mika Earthbound.
Yeah,
Earthborn.
Maybe.
With a last name like that, I gotta assume she's like a princess of the Dwarven Kingdom. You feel me?
I would not put it past you. I would not put it past you at all. But yeah, good chapters with that all around. The series just keeps going. I'm always happy to see a new chapter in this one. It's so fun.
Every chapter that comes out, it just excites me so much.
Yeah, I really wish this was on one of the the WEBTOON things or anything where they'd had a fast pass. Just give me that next chapter a little earlier.
It's got to be on Toonily.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep definitely on that one. We also got to get our homeboy JD to read it finally. JC's got to get reading.
JC, I'm calling you out right now. Go read the beginning after
He's got to go
bro.
read the beginning after the end.
I'm telling you, it's fire.
So much. But we'll keep moving on here to our next one. Since we went from a world of kings, let's go to the world of gods. God of Highschool. I'm going to keep Ark at some level of a tame as best I can with this one. Since I know he's got probably...
I read it.
I know you did.
I read it, but I literally don't... I mean, not just a little bit at this point. It's more like...
I said still, not a little bit.
Not a little bit. Still. It's a continuing.
I don't know what's going on anymore, guys.
Apparently, somebody from like the olden days showed up from when he was still the Monkey King. And
okay, so I'm pretty positive that's her horse. I'm pretty positive it's her horse. Her horse.
It's her horse. But the thing here is like
it's not necessarily to introduce the horse, bruh.
I didn't know the horse could do that.
We're just getting introduced more characters again and again. And then who was the guy next to the horse later on?
I don't know who that is. That one threw me through.
Bro, who the fuck is this Ryong dude? No. Ryong is the horse. This dude name is like fucking...
The glasses dude?
Yeah,
the glasses dude, right? But then when you see them, like their true forms, you see a horse and like a dragon or something or whatever. Like they're beast modes. Like, oh, they
I don't know if it was a horse and a deer or what.
I was so confused. I was like, am I so looking at this for some reason? I don't understand why this is why this is happening, please.
And this guy is stronger than the horse, and he like managed to break the dragon armor suit that's supposed to be like OP as shit. And I'm just like, who the fuck? Who are you?
I mean, they had to replace the other hacker kid that died, so now they got to replace him with another one. I don't know. All right, so
he looked just like him too.
He kind of does. But yeah, just so with this one, we started back up. You know, they're still doing the selection process. I think they're probably close to the end of it, just with the way that the chapter rolls out. But you know, they kill everyone in the area. Old man basically pops in and is like, I don't want anyone else to die. He's pretty much about to catch it. And of course, Mori just starts sneezing. I was just like, is this a Superman reference? I'm guessing this is a Superman reference because he sneezes so hard, it just knocks everyone the fuck back. So just the comedy relief bit here. But it continues there with all of them rushing him. He beats them all down, but that's when the horse dude shows up and specifically brings up, he's like, they basically start talking in the middle of the fight, and he tells him, he's like, I'm not the monster, you're the one that ate her, you know. And the thing is though, is like, the thing is here, is they keep bringing up that Mori is not as strong as he was before, but the problem I have is that the previous chapters have been bringing him up that he's been gaining more strength as the chapters go on because of the way that his new form is. Essentially, he's starting off weak and beginning to strength and gaining the strength in, but now that's compounded on him when he goes into more Jin form. So he's technically stronger than he was before.
No, the biggest problem here is I have no idea where power levels are anymore. Like, I get it, like we're beyond the point of like power levels and stuff. Well, but, yeah, I mean, like there's no contextual power levels, as in like.
Well, I can't tell how strong anyone else is. I know how strong Mori is supposed to be, just because they actually have it. But we do, because they gave us that whole chapter of like him training with W.E.B.T.O.O.N, talking about like, well, okay, think of your power level now as a video game. You were at God OP, you've gone back to 0, but you retain all of the knowledge, and you can still go to OP level, but it's like basically with a time bar. But now because of that, you can essentially get back to OP and be OP again, but now when you basically go into your Devil Trigger form or whatever, you're now doubling up that old OP now with this current form. So you should technically be stronger than you were in the previous tournament. You know, I understand it's not that.
No. What I'm trying to say here is like this. The way it's being written, even if you're like, I get it that you can understand where like W.E.B.T.O.O.N was trying to say that, but visually speaking, it does not play out that way.
Well, that's what I'm saying towards.
Like reading, it is inconsistent.
That's what I'm saying, though. But that you're not following along with me. That's what I'm saying. He visually and through the story,
we know
it's
what
not
he's supposed to be, but the writer is not writing it, so it feels like you understand.
Well, that's why I keep saying when the writer keeps giving me these words with the characters when they're talking to him, and they're like, "You're weaker than you were before," and I'm like, but that shouldn't be true because of what they explained before of how this works. So that's where I'm like, how are you saying that he's weaker than he was way back in the past? Is that what you're trying to like refer to? Or, you know, because, you know, when he went OP in the tournament, that was beyond that point, right? So I'm like, that's where I'm like having that hard time, and I'm like, the writer isn't like keeping that consistent with that, because everyone keeps making that comment over and over again that you're weaker than you were before. You're weaker than you were before, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
it's because if Mori Jin was the strength where he's supposed to be, like the way like it was like being led up to, he would have already dealt with all this problem, like all of this, and there would be no problem. So the writer keeps like doing this thing where it's like going back and forth, like, okay, well, he's strong here now, but then he's not strong here.
Well, even then, it's not saying that if he had. Well, it's not saying that, because if he had the power he had before, he wouldn't be able, because the power he had before was nowhere close to the level of the All God showing up, you know? And essentially, you know, that being is supposed to be more powerful than all of the gods encompassed, and it's proved it by the fact that Park has basically killed almost everything and anything in existence so far. So, you know, he was not even strong enough to handle just the other 6 gods that stood against him, even after, you know, consuming I can't remember how to say her name, Zhangzhou. After consuming her, you know, he only took down Marta, but it still wasn't enough for him to beat all the other gods. So I'm not sure just what they're trying to equivalate this weakness and strength to exactly. Not to mention at the very end of it, the fight when they run away, because right as Mori is basically about to get stabbed, Dan and our homegirl show up to save his ass, and he has that conversation with, I don't know what the fuck the guy is, who he's supposed to be, but he makes the conversation. He's like, you know, you're stronger than him. You could have taken him out at any point, but you're still protecting him. Why? And I'm like, okay. Is this supposed to be like the secret thing? Like he's still his friend? I mean, he says that he's his master's vessel, or that's where his master's home is. So I'm guessing he's still seeing like, since he ate her, she's still inside of him. So he doesn't completely want to kill the body, I guess. I don't know.
I think this is really, really messy to read, like extremely messy. And
I'm confused as
just listening to us try to.
Guy, honestly,
I'm
reading it. I'm just confused. Like it's going all over the place, and I don't like. We got the shortest training arc, but then with the way you're explaining it, we have the fucking world's longest training arc.
It's super awkward. Like. But it's just really awkward, and I'm just trying to like figure out exactly where the author is trying to take me with this, with how it's trying to explain.
We managed to get LPO receive the used Holy Grail. What are you gonna use the Holy Grail for against the almighty fucking Mookhyang Park God? I
don't know if they can reverse it and give Mori all his abilities back. Maybe ? I don't know how the actual Holy Grail works entirely, since you know,
I'm just confused. You know?
I'm not sure what the plan is. That's where I'm kind of.
I'm not asking for a hard magic system. I'm asking for a consistent magic system, basically. All right. The problem here is
it'd be nicer.
The problem here is like, and no, and you can even have a really good inconsistent magic system, like JoJo's dad powers. It could be like as wild as possible. All right, but here. It's so hey but here the thing is, like, it's not that it's inconsistent. It is because the writer keeps doing this thing where it's like, well, Mori is this powerful, and then at the beginning of every single arc we reset him, and then we're like, okay, now he's back. I'm like, okay, all right, you can only do this so many times before. No, you're going to do this every single time. Okay, and then now we're this like we're supposed to be at the last story arc, right? And then we've had it where like every single time someone fights against Mori, it seems like in the middle of the fight they reset him somehow. They're like, yeah, you have technique and you're this strong, and then suddenly it's like, oh no, now you're not. And I was like, all right. If he wasn't that strong in the first place, you should not have a difficulty against him, but somehow you do in order for us to have this fight scene. And then, do you understand this problem? Like it should be either.
Oh, I understand the problem.
It's either there should be no difficulty with like Mookhyang Park fighting against Mori, or there is a problem because Mori should be able to fight against Mookhyang Park. It's not like, oh, he was until the middle of it, and now he's not. And I was like, okay, this makes no sense, guys, stop this, please.
They're doing all the Chekhov guns really, really late. That's all. here's every one of those things that you didn't know we had until this moment, exactly when we needed them.
Also keep introducing characters that we probably won't ever see.
Yeah, like I feel like some of these characters, I mean, the kid, the grandpa, so many of these characters are just gonna get killed instantaneously.
The fucking horse, okay? I don't understand the purpose of having the horse again here, okay? Because
like, they never really showed that girl off too much as to begin with.
Not until we got into the later chapters.
Fucking horse.
Not until we got into the later chapters.
I'm just confused.
No. See, the thing with her is you should have already assumed that you knew, because like the whole point is like at this point it's playing off like people's knowledge of like the Monkey King. You should have already known the journey to the west where he went on the journey with whatever the monk. Okay,
the monk, yeah.
And that's who she was apparently. Instead of being a guy, it was always a girl all along. And these incidents happen, and like this is. Like, it's just supposed to be a twist on, like, this storytelling. You're supposed to have already known it. So, like, the problem is, the writer is assuming that people knows these things, but it doesn't make much sense because there's already a twist as to, like, what backstory, like, what story he's chosen.
We're actually going with.
Like, oh, cool, look.
I thought that lady was a blacksmith.
Oh, look.
Oh, Hephaestus? You thought it was Hephaestus?
Oh, look, you know, the monk rode the horse all the way through India. Cool, that's great. I did not know the horse could talk and like do any of this beforehand. All right, when was this? This should have been important to say, okay? But no, now the horse shows up randomly, and I'm like, okay, all right. I know technically the horse was always there beforehand, but he still was like a background thing. Like you didn't think any more than just a horse, okay? So like that's the thing here. We're getting introduced to more things, so like now you have a bunch of questions. Like, okay, I have more questions here. When this is the last story arc, and you should be answering questions, not presenting more questions, please.
Well, I'm sure we're gonna have more questions because there are still a lot more chapters ahead so far.
Just end this, please.
No ends.
just end it.
Well, either way, we'll hopefully continue forward with that, and we'll get some kind of conclusion at some point here to see what comes next, what the plan is with the chalice or the Holy Grail.
Okay, even One Piece is trying to end, all right? Like, just end this, please.
Now it's just funny to watch you squirm for it. But either way, let's move on to our next one before he completely loses his mind. Over with Descent of the Demonic Master. So the date's over. That got carried out, but the restaurant is apparently full in swing. Everyone is visiting, and solely because homegirl tweeted out. What's up?
The commercial went out.
Yes. Well, the commercial went out.
Commercial.
And then she very carefully tweeted that the guy from the commercial also runs this restaurant. So now they are nonstop packed. Every day, every hour, there's a line constantly.
And he's Chuck E. Cheese now. It's fine.
Yep, he's Chuck E. Cheese.
Yep, everybody wants to take a picture. Everybody wants a picture. Everybody wants a picture.
Get all these things with him.
I felt bad for our homeboy as he's like walking into work and he sees the line and they're all just like staring him down as he goes in. He's like, "We'll be open soon." He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh damn." Yeah. So restaurant's going well, but the real story kicks in here with the daughter of the. It's not the association, right? It's the other one.
The young no.
Young.
I thought she was
Yes, it is association.
Daughter of the association.
Is she a daughter of association? Because the other one is the Young Na gang.
Because, yeah, the Young Nam decided to overtake him.
Well,
the leader.
Well, the thing is that she comes in asking for help, stating that she believes that her grandfather has been kidnapped. She doesn't have any proof. She just says that when she checked the security cameras at his compound, she can't find him. But she didn't
it's fine. He was like, "I don't really care. I was gonna go deal with this problem anyways."
Yeah. Well, it wasn't specifically that problem he was gonna deal with. He was gonna go deal with them for the fact that, they tried to kidnap his sister, and some death cards have to be dealt there. But this just aligned up with it, and of course they layered it on top of a lovely flashback from the old nun, giving him, you know, like, sometimes it's good to just help those that are weaker than you are. But we also did get a visit from his demonic side again, giving him a little bit more of a push that he's just reverting back to himself when he kind of needs to pay out some punishment to some individuals.
You know who his demonic side is? His demonic side is those stupid fans who read this and they're like, I want more action and shit. That's what his demonic
that's what
side
that is.
Okay?
His demonic side.
That's what it
is.
All right.
I want to fight, damn it.
And this is the part where the writer is telling you, nah, I don't want him to write. I don't want him to fight all the time. Okay, it's not gonna happen that way.
It's not gonna happen that way.
It's supposed to be a slice of life, okay?
It's a slice of life with some action, not the other way around. Yeah. So, but the big thing though, he pulls out the swords.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out Munin and Girik. He's going into battle with both the twin blades, ready to probably ready to spill some blood this time. I kind of want to see what this actually means when he unsheathes those, since the whole thing was he wasn't prepared at the time before because of his power. Now he seems like he's ready, and I don't know if it's just solely because of the situation that it's in, or if he just really wants to display off so that no one else comes along and tries to fuck with him. But yeah, so heading over to the big boss's compound to take out the gang. How we think this is gonna go? Do we think he's just gonna this is gonna end just like with whatchamacallin'? Our other demonic dude? He's just gonna leave him in a state of shock and kill?
No, don't worry, he's not gonna kill them.
He cut off the one dude's head in the last fight.
Oh, I thought you meant about the demonic killer.
Yeah,
well, that was the thing though. He made the comment that he wasn't going to kill the demonic killer, but then he wound up dead. So
he's not going to kill them. They're just going to eventually just die. It's two different things.
Eventually just die of what?
Hey, look, he cut off that dude's hand, but he's not dead. Right?
Head. He cut off his head. He slapped that dude so hard his head.
Oh no, those guys definitely died.
Oh no, they're dead. I mean, like, they messed with his little sister. What you mean?
They made such a light of that joke. Like that whole fight was so fucking funny, but he straight up murdered all of those guys in the end.
It's like Spider-Man whenever he throws somebody off the building.
It's just like he's fine. He did not
it's Batman.
It's Batman. The Batmobile.
He's sleeping.
You know, Batman be out here breaking people's necks without knowing it, man. He thought he knocked them out. You know, it's okay. The guy whose head came off, that's fine. He's good. He's chilling.
Is he gonna pick up the knives and be like, "These are swords"? Is that what you're saying, Ark?
Yes.
Oh God. Okay. I just wonder if it's gonna be funny or if it's gonna be serious this time. That's what I'm just wondering.
No, he's gonna walk in there super tough, and then he's just gonna end up sitting down with some tea and negotiating.
You think he's gonna just negotiate his way out of it?
Yes.
Better yet, what do you think if he takes over the gang?
That's even better.
He just kills the boss.
He's got more workers for the pizzeria.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he just beats up a few of the big guys, and they're just like, "We now bow to you." And then he just basically has a bunch of new employees.
I'll take some of that little guild money to go open up a branch. You know, a separate branch. You know? It's all about business.
I just lucked into more business. That's what it's all going to turn down to.
Exactly.
Honestly, with the way this story is written, I kind of can't really guess which way it could go, because after that last one, I'm just like, oh, so we're just playing jokes here. Oh, these are some really, really deadly jokes. It could kind of be in any way or favor. Like, he could go in there and it could just be like silly, but he is straight up murdering these folks, or it will be like a little more serious because, you know, the demonic side pops out and is like, yeah, you're really liking this, huh? You're really enjoying, you know, laying down this punishment only you can lay down. I'm gonna guess that the branch will fall, and this will be a signal to our Red King about him to come to the area. So this may be the leading factor that gets him to finally appear before Homeboy and show up. But
or have the other two kings show up, or all
one of
three
them. I mean, I'd like
because-
to see another one make an appearance, but I figure that he'll have to knock down one of the other ones first before the remaining will make appearances or make any light of it. Since he seems to only be worried about this in his area, and the fact that he delegated it to a lower branch to take care of the situation within, and they even then thought it was no more than just a stupid task, so they sent out a stray to take care of it. But it's slowly becoming worse and worse with as time goes on. So I'm also waiting for the other guild to make their appearance, Mr. Magic Pants.
the Korean Martial Association.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for Top Hats to appear and talk about some shit, but so we still got a few other people in the fire that need to kind of pop out there, but heading the way that they are, I'm kind of hoping that we do get to see a little bit of action with this coming one. I kind of want to see if homegirl actually fights along with him, or if she's just like she said, she's like, hey, once you're done, come find me, we'll take care of the mess afterwards.
Like she did last time.
Yeah, she'll just send in the cleaning crew. So hopefully she tags along. I don't know if she will, but hopefully she does, because I kind of want to see what she can do at a fight wise. But yeah, so it would be nice to see like
her fighting with Jin-ho.
Gang Jin-ho.
I almost forgot his name.
It's all right. We got so many to read. We're going through a lot, but just keeping up. Everyone just keep up with that Demonic Master. Hopefully with this.
Dude, I don't even remember names. I'm just like, that's the main character.
I remember facial features. I remember some hair. I remember some of the hair follicles, and I remember their demeanors. There I go. That's all I need to know. But yeah, so.
Seeing them go buck wild with the swords finally would be nice, because they've been sitting around for so long and just been in the back of our minds for a while.
I mean, they've just been sitting in his room. Apparently, his parents never check his room. Or checked him when he left. Or when he left.
Trust him? Why would they ever look? It's fine. They trust him.
Look, you see what happened inside of the coffee shop, man? They ain't got nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about.
Not a single thing. You two are fucked up, but
no, we're not. We're just telling it how it is. His dad literally watched them judo flip some guy into the table. All right,
like it was nothing.
Like, well, it looks like my son can handle himself. I'm gonna go that way.
I'll fix the table. Here's a 20 spot.
And then he casually ended up just making coffee for people.
You know. But yeah, so more to come hopefully with our Demonic Master for this one. Arc, I'm gonna leave this next one to you with Fff-class Trashero as we bring it in.
Well, we beat the giant catfish, and then the mermaid is now apparently in love with the main character, because apparently all mermaids have this thing where they're like, oh, look at those levels. Look at all that power level.
Plus, and then we see him at 750 after punching the fish down.
Yeah. Because, apparently
she's all about that big number. Your number is so strong.
Yeah, dude, that big level energy, bro.
How big is your
And then, apparently after defeating the catfish god, you got some rain. And then, lots of fucking rain.
You got some rain.
10 days
Maybe a little too much rain, a little bit of flood, a little bit of monsoon.
Yeah, it kind of leaked in through the castle, causing the mermaid to talk a little shit.
Yeah, but she's talking like shit as in like a tsundere kind of shit. She's just like, the only way you pay attention to me is if I like talk bad to you. So like, pay attention to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
notice me, motherfucker. Yeah.
We have it where the other hero,
Sig
attempts.
Sig. I say Sig.
Like,
Siege.
oh hey, they get word of like there's something down in the sewers and they have to go deal with it. So Sieg and also the
Alex.
Well,
yeah,
right? Whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Alex.
They go and try to subdue what it is, but it's super over leveled. And Sieg is the only one who survives because Alex decides to sacrifice himself at all the knights.
All the knights of the palace.
Giant worm, sewer worm. And
hey,
then,
but Sieg gets a bunch of levels.
Yeah,
he
but
finally gets to become strong.
At the expense of, you know, making our main character look really bad, apparently.
I mean, he accomplished the goal, and
Yeah,
everyone's singing his praise right now.
And then we discovered that the main character here has been like raising his own Dark Knight forces in the background. It's like, nah, I don't care if any of y'all die. Just go reach level 200. All right, none of you come back until you reach level 200. Go away.
And he physically actually turned all these guys into a dark humans. Pretty fucking ridiculous.
They all have assassin class.
He made a whole new race himself.
Yes, and then Sieg leaves and comes back apparently with a party of girls. And the main character here is slightly jealous, kind of. I don't know if he's like jealous.
Yeah, I didn't understand that when I saw it. I
think he's jealous of the fact that all the little things that he did the first time around, people didn't appreciate him for. And then Sieg goes around and does it, and somehow everyone's like, "Oh, thanks for saving my cat. You're the greatest hero ever." And then the main character here is like, "None of you know that I've been saving the world.
I'm the one that's keeping everything at peace. It's all me."
3 fucking times have I killed the goddamn Demon King. 3!
Oh, he's not getting any recognition. Yeah, and yet Sieg gets, after losing Alex and going through his crying fit, Sieg picks up a full party of just 3 girls to be his adventuring buddies.
A bandit, and then who was it, an archer?
I think it was an archer, yeah. An elven archer.
Yep, it was an archer.
So just the classic harem.
Yeah, just a classic party that you would see anywhere else.
A classic party / classic harem for the character.
Okay. So how come I got all the shitty like party members, and then Sieg here gets actually like decently competent party members here that aren't shitty people? Stop it.
It's like almost just like a living punishment for him. Someone else is getting the better versions of what he would have expected the first time around. But mainly because they're not being dicks.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think the first time around he was being a dick to anything, though.
Well, that's the thing, is we were only given a glimpse of his first run, and it seems like he was at the beginning kind of like a slightly good person, but he was still like every bit of things he did were motivated with an angry tone about it.
I think eventually he got to the point where he was like, "Man, I'm tired of this," and that's what that was. But like the truth was, when he was like, "No, I still," he was like, I may have been tired of it, but I still went out and like saved people that like didn't need to be saved. Like I was like, "Oh, this happened. I went and go save these people." Like I went out of my way to go help the the peasants here, all right? But they still didn't appreciate me. Unlike Sieg here, who's like, "Oh, I got the cat out of the tree," and everyone's like, "Yay, it's the greatest thing ever." He's like, "No, I hate you. Okay, like I hate you so much because you're doing absolutely nothing. All right, stop it."
I just killed 10,000 monsters, man. You go out here saving a child on the goddamn street. Man, this guy, I'm about to end his whole career.
Well, he kind of can if he wants to, if he doesn't want to be stuck again.
Like
I did see the.
I would have just given up and immediately be like, "All right, I guess if we're playing this game, gods, we're gonna play this fucking game." What? No, yeah, we're gonna play this game. We're gonna do it my way. You want to reset? Go ahead and reset. I'm just going to do this as miserable as possible the entire time. It's fine.
I'm gonna ruin the entirety of this fucking kingdom 5 times over. I have to, just so I can go home and take a shit in a perfectly fine plumbing toilet.
Do you see this skill that I have that you cannot get rid of? Do you see this? I am a god now, dude.
You have made me a god.
Look, Professor Morals, I can fight you right now. If you don't send me home, we fight.
I'm waiting for it to get to that point.
To get home, and when I do, you will regret not just sending home the first time. Do you understand this?
He's just gonna wreck his own home when he gets back.
Let me go home, sit down, watch my anime, and play my video games. That's all I've been doing before I even got here, anyways.
Yeah. So Did he within the end of the chapter did we learn anything from him from what his plan is besides sending out the assassins or this group to go and kill to get to level 200? Is he gonna fuck with Sieg in any way?
Of monsters to attack the town, and then he beats them all before anything happens. But it doesn't make a difference because the town wasn't paying attention to him. They were paying attention to Sieg, who like helped an old lady cross the street. Yeah.
I mean,
look, I saved you from all these monsters. Oh, you're paying attention to Sieg, who just helped an old lady across the street. You know what? All of you deserve to die.
He saved a kid being ran over by a fucking carriage.
Yeah.
Our homeboy is he's just so bad at just being a person.
Because apparently the gods care about like the theatrics of heroism and not actual heroism.
Not the actual like the work behind the heroism.
Yeah, it's like, oh look. I'm like, no, I do not. I wouldn't be like, no, I do not care if I look heroic or not. Did I save the world? Yes. It doesn't matter if I was like, why does it matter if I look like I was heroic or not? Why does it matter, please?
It's a perfect example of exactly when we're explaining your style for training everyone. Did they die? No. Then I succeeded in my goal. That's not a good thing. That's not how that works.
The end justifies the means here, all right?
Oh, you're a very radical Spock, you know that?
Yes.
You're a very radicalized Spock. I would love to see a version of you on Star Trek. But yeah, so what we got going forward with Homeboy now?
If I was a Vulcan on Star Trek, it would be like, I shot the phasers first and killed something, and they're like, why would you do that? Because it was logical to just kill them now. Like, why would you let them go? Like, you know he's obviously the bad guy. Why would you just not kill him now?
You see in my previous adventures here that this guy is clearly a fucking bad guy.
Yeah, it's like,
and I take care of him, and you're still gonna fail me. Why?
Why can't you explain this reasoning to me?
Also another thing, like the thing here, like I would be, if I was the main character of this, I'd be so mad because it's not like Professor Morals is explaining anything. She's just like, watch this as an example, and I'd look at him like, okay, I did that the first run. You know I did that the first run, and yet you still somehow fucked me. Is it because I let everyone die in the end? You know what? They all deserve to fucking die. It makes no difference because I still beat the Demon King at the end, all right?
It's because he didn't.
He also gave full explanations as to why he killed them, because they were such bad people.
It's because he didn't cry for them at the end. That's why.
That's
why Sig cried for a whole day and night about Alex's death. That's why he gained all the heart points. You didn't cry hard enough. Yeah, I'm gonna play the evil one on this one.
I don't understand what
I want my heroes like how I want my politics. All right. Cut to the short, and just cut to it, to the chase, and just like forget theatrics. All right, I don't care. Just get something done, please. That's all I want.
Yeah, like if you just get it done as quickly as freaking possible, you can go home. I don't care. Just go kill this damn Demon King. I'm sending you home.
You guys would be great judges in Omniscient Viewpoint. You really would.
Man, if we were constellations, bro.
The amount of just back and forth of like, I like what you're doing. You're a fucking moron here. You'd be screwing with those people.
What you're doing. You're good to go. Here goes 100 gold. You know, I hate what you're doing. I'm taking that 100 back.
You guys would just fuck with those people so hard, but yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Answer is usually the right answer. It's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you get it done, bro, you're good to go. That's how I would see it as. Like, man, you take out all these bad people who were causing problems in the town. Who's causing problems in the kingdom?
And I'm just the one showering gold on Sig in the corner. Look at you saving those kitties while you guys are just like, what the fuck are you doing? Just making him more pissed off. I'm like, nothing at all. All right. Well, not to get too drawn on that one. For our next one here, let's move over to our big dog here, homie up in solo leveling. I'm sure you spoke length at this yesterday or on Wednesday there, Seraph, with some shit that went down.
There's a lot of speculation as to what's going on, especially for the architect, what he is, who he is, how it's going to go down, as well as for Go-Gun-He as well, because we got to see another side of how Go-Gun-He can be and where he came from when all this first started.
Yeah.
You know, seeing as to how Go-Gun-He is so powerful, but his body can't handle it. As we see previously, he's managed to almost get a heart attack just from getting overly excited.
I mean, he broke that room just by crushing that thing. He just
table alone. You know, seeing as to how Japan wanted to try and recruit Sung Jin-woo.
Yeah.
And seeing as to how he
trying it under some shady shit too. Some extra shady shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were trying to do that backhand deal with it, and they were just like
hoping that Korea didn't know what they were trying to do the whole time.
And they totally caught him in it. They straight up caught him in that bullshit.
With Goto Ryoji's black box that they had for communication device.
They played a bad game, and it just goes to further show like Japan's just in a fucked state with them right now. They're paying
especially with seeing as to how a gigantic S-rank gate showed up. They gotta pay Yuri Olav about 3.6 billion a year.
Yeah, and just daily
they're in a really fucked state for money.
I mean,
because if they took all those magic cores and just made bank off of it. So then that way they could continue paying Yuri.
Well, Yuri
trying to go get Sung Jin-woo.
Yeah.
Through the Hunters Association, when they know that even through the Hunters Association for Korea that Sung Jin-woo isn't really even a part of it. He's just like his own entity.
Essentially.
So you guys would have to go talk to him, not me.
Yeah. And they're like, well, you still have an in with him, technically. So they try to use that as leverage to get their foot in the door, and just going on just comes
you
out.
Think I have an in with him? Did you see he does everything by his fucking self?
Well, they haven't seen it. The amount of
they've seen him solo S-rank gate.
Well, not Japan, Korea, and them have seen him. The
whole
solo.
World saw it. That whole thing was being nationally broadcasted. That's why all the associations, like the American associations, everywhere from China, fucking.
Oh, you're talking about Jeju Island, that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no, I was talking about I was talking about one where he made the comment where he's like, I want to gain the access to be able to do dungeon solo, and they were like, yeah, we don't do that just because of these and these reasons. And he's like, okay, well, let me prove you I can do this by myself. And he took Homeboy in there as more or less a witness, and he was just like, I don't understand. This dude he's pretty much got the power of pretty much a large nation. There's no way that he needs us for help. Even on his weakest day, would probably be stronger than most of us.
Especially since when Juncho saw that every single one of his shadows are at least B rank and above.
I mean, yeah, his main shadows are all at least level S rank. Most of his lower rank ones are all at least A rank now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's well off more than powerful. But yeah, they Japan hasn't seen him just do that qualification that he did in order to get that right to do it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but yeah, when he was making the comment, he's like, yeah, there's no point talking to me. Go talk to him yourself if you want to really, win over any kind of favor with him. Granted, he's probably not even gonna take the meeting because he doesn't need him for anything. But yeah, him dominating through the fight with all of the statues, and then him taking on the big, just Goliath one in the background, Mr. Smiles. But this time around, just the continuous jackhammer to the face just breaks that jaw. And I know I posted on it, but the way the statue lands on the ground, I posted up, I was like, seems familiar. And I just put a picture of Yamcha next to it, and I was like, oh, I get it now.
I saw that, and I really laughed about that.
I was like, oh, that's harsh. But yeah.
And then after he gets through fighting all that, we get to see the architect show up, and he's like,
well,
guess what? I'm the final boss. And then when his face starts to crumble in the last panel, it looks just like from how we saw Min Byung-gu when he was in that spiritual stage with Cha Hae-in.
Yeah.
And so that really brings up a lot of things about, like, what is it? You know, as to what is the power, how does it come about? Is the architect a part of this power? I get that he brought up the system, but does he have something to play with it? And if you guys remember when Jin-woo was with Madame Selner, we saw this pretty much the same similar face.
Oh, in the other world when she was
peering into the darkness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that brings up a lot of things like, could the architect be like something special, like being the Shadow Monarch itself, or like is it going to be something different? Because
is he the one? Could he possibly be the one that designates who the monarchs are? It could be something is just like that. Like he chooses out these random individuals to basically become the new monarchs, and then he kind of controls them from, well, not to say in the shadows, but gives them the instructions of what they're to do. I'm sure that he knows of the other monarchs that are rolling around in some way, or they may just be rogue elements in a manner, and he's maybe using Sungjing to more or less bring them in. Is he possibly directly connected to the architect in that manner as well? If like when you said when he saw Madame Selner and he saw the same face, it just could be like, all the power that you have, it actually comes from me, because the one thing he did when he was going to start the fight, he snapped and he took away all his abilities. He's like, I'm not here to see all the things that you gained. I'm here to see what you have become. And I was like,
he pulled out the whole Thanos snap.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. He's not playing about that, those powers. Granted, it doesn't seem like it took everything away. He could still summon weapons. He still had some of his own natural abilities, his speed, his strength. He could even use the Dominator's touch. He couldn't use any of his summons, but he couldn't use his. It didn't look like he could use his summon exchange either.
Or the store, because the store was mainly
the store was also
to go get potions and stuff, because then he would have really.
Well, yeah, he could have just essentially forever fought, not having to worry about any mana control. But yeah, he basically had to fight melee straight up. Surprised that he did not pull out any other weapon. I was kind of hoping the sword would make an appearance again. But yeah, so the final battle now with the architect, or maybe an avatar of the architect. What do we see? What more do we see coming from this next chapter?
I don't know, man. He's got 10 minutes to fight.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have too much time left. He was on a time limit.
To fight, the creator of the system here.
Yeah. So either
who knows, he could just stand on, snap him back, and they're like, "Hey, yo, guess what? You ain't got your strength no more." Damn.
Yeah, like how long? How much is he gonna play with him? Is he gonna let him like actually fight him one-on-one, or is he? Is this really a training? More or less, anything. It's a training session for him. He's like, I need you to understand exactly what your role is and what overall is going on here. Yeah. Either way, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what we get here. And granted, it wasn't the way you wanted arc. It wasn't just no information, no explanation whatsoever. But
I mean, technically, there was no information given at all.
I mean, we learned of the architect. We haven't learned what
we're
what the
assuming that he's the architect.
Well, he did say that he was the creator of the system.
Yeah, he's the creator of the system.
Yes, but we don't know like anything else besides like you said, it could be an avatar. It could be absolutely just like.
Well, I mean, the avatar could still be. It's still the architect. He's just sending. It's like fucking. Not Thanos. It's like fucking Darkseid. It is him. It's just a version that he has to send, that he sends because you can't You can't really withstand. You can't withstand the true me. You can't withstand the me that I actually am. But yeah, it's the same. I'm giving that it's the same thing. He is speaking to the entity that is responsible for, you know, his abilities. I mean, just the fact that he displays it really quickly by just taking them away from him. But yeah, so I know that I'm looking forward to at least getting that final bit of information more from this, as well as seeing what this fight turns out with. And hopefully with this, we'll actually start getting into talks of new enemies that he'll have to go up against that might even be more of a challenge for him. Granted, this one didn't at all seem like it was too difficult, but I'm gonna guess that the architect's gonna smack him around just a tiny bit. I mean, since he probably knows every ability he has, I'm sure he's got just a fucking cheat sheet of everything that he could possibly throw at him.
And, you know, because he's like the admin of the system and stuff.
Exactly.
He's been watching him for a long time, so he knows his fighting style and how he works, you know.
Yeah, he's well aware probably of exactly everything every little trick he could throw at him. I'm sure there's going to be one that he won't notice coming, but that will have to be wait to see for that. I think for that, we'll probably close off on this episode. We're almost on 2 hours here right now, and I know, Seraph, you got to roll out here pretty soon. You guys to get yourself to some bed, and I did not want to keep you up, but I will go ahead and we'll close out on that chapter there. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Seraph, if you want to do our magnificent closeout. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, for watching this episode of the Project WEBTOON podcast. If you guys liked, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe down below. And if you guys want to stay updated with our content for every time we post, make sure to hit that little bell as well. And make sure to check us out on Twitter. Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Spotify, Anchor. Pretty much all of our platforms are down there in the link tree in the description below. And make sure to also follow our individual Twitters as well.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for watching. If you guys made it this far, really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you so much. We really greatly appreciate that. But I will go ahead and lead us on the rollout. It's your big man, Sleepy.
It is your boy Seraph here.
And this is Arc Dragoon out.
Hey, everyone, take it easy out there.